Well, I'm a Senko who works in a primary school in Easton, and we've got a long relationship of working with the Bridge. We've had Bridge and School Service working alongside us for several years. And about in 2013, Audrey joined that service and as a parent counsellor, parent therapist. And so we were just going to talk a little bit about the work that we were doing together, how we were linking up together with that, and how it started off. And it was quite difficult at first, Audrey, wasn't it? So I'll just give a little bit of context of the school. We're a school in an area of really significant economic disadvantage. So children are disadvantaged. There's lots of families living in poverty. And lots of our families are from refugees or asylum seekers or economic migrants, and a lot of families don't have access to public funds either, so the access to things is really, really limited. And a bit like Matthew was saying about the children with in the high needs SEN school, it feels like some of our families feel very marginalized on the outside edges. So it was really great to have Audrey to come in and get started, but it was a bit tricky, wasn't it, Audrey, at the beginning?
Yes, most definitely. So one of the things we had to do to start is how we try to engage the parents in coming to therapy. So we started out by sending out newsletters there at the school, and I would stand at the school gates in the morning, so just to be seen. So parents would then ask, who is this person? And we would talk to them about the work that we do and if they wanted to come in to have a chat. And we start off by having like coffee mornings, drop-ins, where parents can come and learn about the service. And one of the things we found, because so example within this Somalian community, when what we decided to do was to put the newsletter in their language too. And one of the ladies, admin at the school, who is Somalian, when she came to talk about or to interpret the word therapy or counselling, she came to me, she says she doesn't know what word to use because there isn't such a word in their language. And also they don't, this is taboo. We don't share, they don't share whatever they're going through. Everything is kept private. And not just within the Somalian community, but also in the African community and also the Caribbean community, of which I'm part of. And so, we grew up as children knowing and learning we don't share our business. We don't talk our business. And so there's a lot of things that gets held in, doesn't get talked about. So that was a challenge in itself to be able to engage members from these communities to come and talk. But we got there. And it's thriving. We had at one point we would have waiting lists for people wanting to come into the service, because all it took was one person to come to the service. I remember one lady off my very first client came, and she had decided, and she stayed with me for well over 6 months. And at the end of the service, I remember her saying to me that when she first came, she had already made up in her mind that she was not going to say anything. She was not going to disclose any of her traumas. And she said, I don't know how you did it, but I just found myself after the second session just opening up. And the lightness that she felt after that she says she wanted to be an ambassador for her community to try and get other members, because she knows what's going on in her particular community, especially where women are concerned, to come and talk. So that was a really good start to the project. So Matthew mentioned about, there was a question asked about going into the schools. Do the Bridge send in others? But as Matthew said, it's from us. I'm employed by the Bridge. And I think one of the advantage of that is when I'm talking with parents, is that they know, because I'm not employed by the school, they feel more freer to talk about whatever issues they're dealing with, because then they know it won't be recorded in the school, it's not going to be talked amongst teachers and others. And I also make a point of not even going into the staff meetings, the staff group, the staff rooms, because I don't want to hear about, the backstory. I'm pretty much just want to hear about the parents' story, and I want to hear it from them. So I think that's an advantage of us going into the school, and because it also helps with confidentiality for the parents, which is very important for them, that nobody else, the teachers, won't know of their the secrets that they're carrying.
And how we would usually do it, how we would refer parents, is that the referrals would usually come through the referrals that we'd had for the children. So Audrey's always working with parents that one of our Bridge Schools therapists will be working with the child. So it's such a really helpful model that you've got it, that support going into the family from both areas. It might be that the child is starting first, and then later on we can bring the work in with the parent. So then Audrey and the child therapist and myself can also link up to think about those together.